knowing you're capable of so much more that you think you are. Whatever you are struggling with or going through, be grateful for it, because it means that someone else is believing that you're going to perfectly deal with it. We are literally a generation. It is the first time that we can experiment different things in just one lifetime. Probably 88% of the girls that I'm meeting aren't not satisfied with their actual life. Those are excuses. Those are just here to delay what must be done. Like whenever you stepped in business, you know nothing is gonna be perfect. You know that the way you start, it is so far from what you're gonna achieve in months or years. And for me, that's the exciting part of things. Because again, why not to talk about story? 4 years ago, when I moved out of France to go studying in Vietnam, I would have never expecting to now be in Bali, living half of the time in Dubai, and having my own business and always trying to grow it, scaling it. And that's what I really love about business or like life in general. When you start something that is based into a desire and like some passion, you never know where it's gonna take you. You literally fall for the unknown. And that's the greatest things that life can offer you. Not knowing where you're heading, yet having a particular vision, but knowing that this vision can always change over time and not getting married to a specific outcome, improving and tailoring some elements that feels right about you, but like also obviously having some downfall over the journey. And that's interesting because also something that my mom said to me, because when she's in France and she meets friends, or naturally they ask about the kids, so she talks about me. And there is one person in particular I've never been too close to when I was younger. Of course, because he's part of the family, I know him. And apparently, every time he meets with my mom, he's expressing how impressed he is about me, on how he sees that over my young age, I am already so far ahead, especially when it comes down to mindset and like how I choose to live life. And he even admitted that he might be 60 plus years old. And he admitted that he believes he's never going to reach the point that I reached, even though I'm only 24 years old. And I find that so interesting. Because like the fact that they said that I'm so courageous and whatever I go through in terms of challenges, if that would have happened to them, they know they would have broke. That over the past 4 years, I've went through so many challenges that made me the person that I am today, in such a way that I became very much problem solving. It's a matter of knowing you're capable of so much more that you think you are. And one of my strongest beliefs towards God is that He's never going to put you in a situation that you cannot deal with. He's always going to make sure that the challenge that is going through your way is because you are already capable of solving it. So whatever you are struggling with or going through, be grateful for it, because it means that someone else is believing that you're going to perfectly deal with it. Because naturally, as human beings, when we have difficulties going our way, we're always beating ourselves up. Like, why is this happening? I don't want to deal with it. I'm not capable. Or like, it's too heavy for me to carry on with it. But the truth is, you're the one choosing to react that way. You're the one choosing to have those negative thoughts. While you could be in such a reasoning of it's life, and I'm equipped, perfectly equipped to go through it. And I'm actually excited to see where is this gonna make me go, and the excitement of knowing that whatever the outcome this challenge is gonna bring you, this is gonna be an amazing one. And why I'm telling you those things is because I do believe that from that talk with my mom, who literally said the most beautiful things anyone would want to hear. She said to me, you're a person who's living the life of her dream. You're always choosing upon making sure you're living the life of your dream. That is so deep, especially hearing it from your mom. She's saying that all the choices I'm making, all the actions that I'm adopting is because I signed up to live the life of my dream. I know it can sound a bit cliche, but why would you not do that? Why would you live a life that is not your dream? Why would you settle for something that you don't even like? That every morning you're waking up with like a hole in your heart, or like so much darkness around you, like you're stressed, you're fearful. Why would you sign up for this when you know we live in a life where there are so much options around us? We are literally a generation. It is the first time that we can experiment different things in just one lifetime, whatever it is. Like, would have never seen that much abundance in one single generation that ever before. When you look, for example, at your grandmother, at a certain age, they didn't have a choice to get married. It was just the way it was. It's not because it was optional or like mandatory, but it's just a matter of like they've been conditioned that way. You're turning 19, get married, have kids. That was their way of living. Then the generation of our mom, it was more a matter like, yes, go study, but not heavy ones, and find a great simple job that is going to maintain you a okay salary. That was just a new type of programming. You know, instead of staying all day long, being the mom, taking care of the house, now you would have the now option of have a okay job. And now when it comes down to me, the third generation, it is so different. Like literally, I can choose whatever I want. I can choose to either have a job, I can choose to not have a job, to marry the rich guy. I can choose to travel all the time, and I can choose to build a business. I have so many options that I can choose from, and I choose the one that suits me the best. So what I'm saying right now is that throughout my active years, since I graduated from university, I'm meeting a bunch of people with different ethnicities, different languages, and obviously different activities. Probably 88% of the girls that I'm meeting aren't not satisfied with their actual life. There's always something they're like, oh, I tried this, it didn't work. I wanted this, I was afraid of doing it. I'm stuck in this job that I don't fucking like, but it is just the way it is. And I'm like a bit disconnected on those things because my brain doesn't understand it. What do you mean you are signing up for something that is killing you day after day? Plus, you actually put this on yourself. The fact that every single day you continue that way, I don't want to be any mean here, but it is on you. There is no one telling you to do it or not to do it. And even if there is someone, it's not the one living your life. You have to choose yourself. I know we are from a society where giving yourself permission or loving yourself, and we're not yet there. But trust me, from the moment that you're pushing on the button of I'm choosing things for myself, life is going to feel much more lighter. To me, it is confusing when I talk to either my old friends back home or new girls, and I see through them so easily about the fact they are beautiful, they are smart, and they are brave, but yet they settle down for a thing that promised them the dream. And after a few months, they're realizing it is not what I was expecting, and right now I'm burning myself down, and I can see it. Like they are literally telling me, I know exactly what's happening right now. I do have the awareness that I signed up for something, but it was actually just chasing a false goal. And I think that is the most hard thing you can go through when you know exactly what's happening, but yet you feel so powerless. Because I've been there multiple times, but the most obvious one was when I moved to Dubai and I got a 9 to 5 job, and I was like, that's great, that's gonna be good. Like, you know, on my free time, I will meet with entrepreneur people, I will meet with my peers, and on the side, I will build a business. But actually, it was so hard because every single day from 9 to 7 p.m., I was stuck in a golden jail. The dream life, apparently, which is working in a big firm, working in one of the highest buildings in literally one of the most dynamic places in Dubai, but yet feeling so empty. It was so hard for me every day having to go to the office and be around people that didn't get me. We had nothing in common. The conversation was so plain, and I could see it. They were like alive zombies, like following what the boss was telling them, complaining about shit, and like having so little esteem of themselves. They are people who never knew they could have the potential of giving themselves the opportunity of better things in their life. When it comes down to giving themselves permission of more, that was not part of the conversation of belief in their mind. And that was so hard for me because I would have two lives at the time in my life in Dubai. During the day, I was with zombies. And that was obviously draining my energy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there were some moments I would run in the toilets and start crying and be like, why am I here? Why am I wasting my potential? I'm with some people who don't see how greater things I could be doing in my life. And that was so hard on myself because I would even tell myself, what am I doing this for? Yes, of course, money. But like right now, I'm killing myself. And then on the other side, during nighttime, I would go to networking events. I would even host some of them. I would speak on stage in front of a room full of entrepreneurs, incarnating this identity of myself being a business owner. Yet, during the day, I was lying to myself. Because if we compare on that side every night, I was feeling so alive. I was talking to amazing people, and that was the most beautiful moments because I was true to myself. I knew that where I was, it is where I was belonging. And this feeling literally changed everything. Because at some point, I was like, I cannot continue that way. So I decided to quit my job and to go after what really lights me up. Why I'm sharing that with you today is because I know where you're coming from. That didn't happen only once in my life. It happened when I was in Vietnam, when I was in Australia, and then Dubai. But I was always falling for, no, but it's fine. This job allows me to be overseas, which is really what I embody. But yet there are always something missing. This aspect of freedom, this aspect of making sure that I will always be in an environment where I know this is where I belong to. So if you do relate to anything that I'm sharing with you today, please, you need to act. Because right now, waking up every single day and going like backwards to your job place, it is not sustainable. Just stop lying to yourself. I know exactly how you're thinking. You're like, no, but it's just for the time being. That's okay. I can just try to avoid my colleague and then compensating with after work having a group of friends that are the one highlighting me. I am this little side hustle that are gonna help me exiting the 9 to 5. Those are excuses. Those are just here to delay what must be done. And something you really need to ask yourself, what am I losing by staying in this position? I think you have your answer because mine was very obvious. I am losing the sight of being on earth for a higher purpose, knowing that God sent me here because I have a mission. And right now, seeing it clearly that being in this golden jail, the most comfortable zone of my life, is actually killing my dreams. And I just couldn't accept that anymore. So yes, I took a turn and I quit everything. That was very hard because for a moment of time, I was not having any source of incomes. So of course, like my energy was going down. But at some point, because I touched the ground, I have no other way to go back up. And now it's been the greatest period of my time because I'm allowed to do whatever I want to. I am so free in all of my choices. And every morning I'm waking up with this sight of like what I'm doing is aligned. And what I'm doing is actually making a fucking difference rather than just being an office that I hate and that is turning my dreams down. Then right now I'm purchasing them, right? I'm attracting my dreams to become reality. And honestly, that is one of the best feeling in the world. So right now, whatever position you are into, either a 9 to 5, either you are freelancing or either you're doing something that yet give you this aspect of freedom because maybe you work fully remotely. But if you're watching this video, it means there is still something inside of you that is telling you that might even scream to you, this is not made for you. What you're doing right now, you are literally like crying often, feeling like tired all the time, and knowing that on top of your head, there is so much bigger that is calling your name. And at some point, you will have to go after it because there is no other choice. You are here for a reason. Don't let that slip. Especially you're so lucky to already have the awareness of what's happening clearly in your life. Again, the zombie effect. If you're watching this video, you're not a fucking zombie. So you should already be grateful about it. But that yet is not enough. You need to act upon it to not have the risk by being in a zombie environment to yourself become one day after day. So, what I'm telling you here, it is not rock science. It is not something that's going to unfold literally tomorrow. But every single day, if you put the intention of like, I want more out of my life, you will attract opportunities that are helping you to go that way. All right. So of course, I know it was a bit of a different type of video that I'm used to do, but I felt like there was a need because from the moment my mom told me about, I'm so impressed because you are one of the only person that I know that is going and living after the life of her dream. So when your mom tells you this, honestly, I had to do something about it. Because my mom, she's 60. And the fact that she's telling me that I'm the only one she knows that is going after her dream's life, I'm like, that cannot be it. You might know someone else. And yet, no. So right now, you got to ask yourself, would people say the same thing about me? If it's a no, then I know how you're feeling. Because I was there 1 year ago when everything turned out to be a living nightmare. But I just didn't quit. I went back into my deepest desires and my vision. And that's the most beautiful thing you can give yourself with. It's not going to be easy, but ask yourself, it is even easier to live a lie? I don't think so. So take from today on small but yet significant decisions that are going to get you closer to living your dream life. On this, I wish you the best. Everything is possible. Just got to put your mind into it.